The planning phase for me was really important in order to try and establish what the final budget was going to look like. Because, you know, in particular nowadays, there's not an abundance of excess sort of availability of funds kicking around for people to just go 50% over budget or anything like that. So yeah, establishing the relationship between the scope of work that you're doing, the whole sort of project plan, and then the budget that you've got available, and trying to balance the two.
Because I don't think we didn't anticipate when the architect changed the layout. We didn't really anticipate the extra cost in that. We just fell in love with the alternative layout and didn't really think, but this is going to mean X more money.
Yeah, definitely.
So that did affect.
Yeah, because there were design decisions we then made. So, for example, because we changed where the kitchen and utility room were, we needed to move the boiler into a different room. Now, we could have moved the old boiler, but then we put in underfloor heating, which meant the boiler capacity wasn't quite enough, so then it meant buying a new boiler, you know, and then it sort of, and this is how
Start spiralling.
Exactly, that's how you get the cost to proliferate, and that's why it's important to establish all the sort of design sort of variables first, and then put a price against that to make sure that it's all going to come in on price. I did a lot of the research online, and there were a number of companies that I looked at, and for me, when I found Roofmaker, one of the biggest benefits was the fact that I could price up the job while I was online, and a lot of the other places I couldn't do that. So that immediately set you out as, you know, somewhere that allowed me to sort of estimate my budget and actually sort of using your tools. Then effectively the design spec was already created because I'd already done that on the quotation tool, and then it sort of made it a natural flow of sort of going to you guys to just complete the project after that. And then we got a risk assessment and sent some site photos back to just ensure that everything was going to be safe, which was actually also reassuring, because it means that, you know, it felt to me like things were being done properly, you know, because I'm in the engineering industry myself as well. I sort of understand that health and safety is important, and the fact that, you know, you guys were taking it seriously and getting us to do site surveys was really important. Originally, the roof lantern wasn't quite the size and shape we were going to do, so we got in touch, had a bit of a chat. So I knew the spec of what I was going for. The website as well had a really good tool to design your own roof light and cost it in advance. So actually, and that was the only tool I found online to do that as part of a website for a company. So, you know, maybe there are more, but actually it was so straightforward: choosing your type of glass, choosing your frame, choosing your dimensions, and then it would just come back with a price. And you think, well, that's easy for me then to add that to the cost of the rest of the building. Actually, the tool that was online really worked well for us, because you know, the architect hadn't tied it into a standard size. It was something unique. So yeah, definitely worked. And like I say, all the options for double, triple glazing, electric roof opening, rain sensors, sun sensors, all this kind of stuff.
You're in your element.
Yeah,
You're loving it.
Loving it, picking stuff. It was like the kid in the sweet shop for sure.